Welcome to part 2 of the Chelsea Challengers chat. Me and Rory are still in the car, we're still in traffic, and time to talk about another team that you think could challenge our title, Rory. Who should we talk about next?
I think we should talk about the team that are going to be our most significant challenger, in my opinion, and that's Manchester United.
Agreed.
Do you agree? Do you think?
I said it. I mentioned it in the Arsenal video before. I think United are going to cause the biggest threat to us retaining our title.
Yeah.
I think the way they've gone about their pre-season signings has been quite scary.
Yeah.
There's been some real quality added to that squad.
I agree.
But
he's
they
gone on a mission, hasn't he, Woodward?
They needed to, though, didn't they? I mean,
They did.
I think last season they were, you know.
But remember how strong their squad was last season. Last year they had a £62 million, the most expensive man in the Premier League, sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
Like, let's not sort of dismiss quite how good they should have been last season. I agree that they've strengthened and it's terrifying, but equally last season they massively underperformed.
Yeah, and you could argue as well that, you know, Van Gaal needed that, you know, that little transitional period and you know, time to get used to the club and get used to his players. So you know, that could have just been a sort of a temporary blip on the way to something, you know, much more important. I think United, with the addition of Depay.
Well, do you know the one that terrified me, Jack?
What's that?
You know, when we were reading that, we've known for a while they've needed a fulcrum in the midfield. They've needed somebody to sit in there, win the ball, distribute it.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they've needed.
Yeah.
And there was talk that they might sign Schweinsteiger. And there was also talk that they might sign Schneiderlin.
Yes.
And I thought, okay, you know, either player would add to United, and particularly Morgan Schneiderlin I rate very highly.
One or the other, though.
They went out and signed both.
Yeah.
That's just like, that's sort of computer game football, isn't it? They went and signed both, and that was a massive statement of intent.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that with that sort of calibre of player coming in, you know, Schweinsteiger's won it all. He's going to bring such a lot of just gravity to their team. If anybody, players like Depay, they're new to this league, and although Schweinsteiger's new, nothing's going to faze him, is it?
No, he's been there, he's done it.
He's won World Cups. He's lost penalty shootout.
He's 32 now. Do we think, is there anything in that maybe his legs have gone, maybe we're
I think there's
more worried than we should be about him? Is there an argument for that?
Well, it depends what Van Gaal's obviously a very intelligent man when it comes to football, but it depends what his plan is for Schweinsteiger. If his plan is to play him in 38 Premier League games, then I think that he's going to be mistaken. If his plan is to use him sparingly and use him when United really need him, perhaps a lot in Europe, perhaps away games where you could struggle, Stamford Bridge being a prime example. Yeah. If he's looking for somebody to just win the ball and never give it away, which is so valuable, then he's probably one of the best in the world for that.
And don't forget, I mean, they've already got a relationship. Van Gaal's already managed him in the past, and he probably knows how to get the best out of him.
Yeah, there is that. But then, do you know, thinking back to last season when Van Gaal came in, and I was taking United's challenge very seriously then. Yeah. He just came off the back of a pretty successful World Cup campaign with Robin van Persie. You know, Robin van Persie had a great World Cup. He scored that diving header in the first game.
Actually, good point.
And I thought that those two, you know, Van Persie being cultivated by Van Gaal could really rediscover his form of a couple of years back when he just scored. Well, he won United the league practically in the first half of the season. Yeah. And it just didn't work out like that.
Was that because Van Persie, was he badly injured or something last year, or did he just go off form and get on the bench?
Sometimes players, they finish, and you know, there's a sort of time limit on everybody. Yeah. And perhaps his legs have gone. Yeah. Yeah. He had a great World Cup and he looked really lively, but he just couldn't get it together. I mean, I went up to Old Trafford when we played them last season, and he scored a last-minute goal and he went mental, but he didn't deserve that. Yeah. He was, you know, he's given us problems in the past. I can remember one particularly when Arsenal beat us 5-3. He was a thorn in our side, and he certainly wasn't that last year. No. So perhaps it just ended for him, and he's gone off, hasn't he? He's gone off to Turkey.
Yes, yeah. So who are we thinking that? What do you think the new look United midfield will look like next season, if you include the new signings?
Well, I think with the two new boys, Holding doing a similar job to the job that we're privileged enough to have. Exactly. Yeah. Matic and Fabregas doing. Yeah. I think that the boys around them, if they do their job well, I think it's an easy life then, because they'll do their job well, and it's simply give it to the magicians. If he can get Di Maria playing again, give it to Di Maria. If he can't get it to Di Maria, give it to Mata. If you can't get it to Mata, get it to Rooney. I think I'd be all right in that midfield.
Yeah, quite
it's
spoiled,
constantly, constantly spoiled, constantly options. So I think that United are a problem, a real problem.
Well, I think there's an agreement from both of us. Man United wants to watch. Part 3, should we do a part 3?
How long we got? Should do a part 3. But you know what I'd like to know? I'm not sure. No. But let's put it to the panel, Jet, because I'm not sure that we're correct here, or if we're even that representative of other football fans. Guys, what do you think? Do you think that United, have we called it right? Are United the team to challenge us for our title next season, or is there somebody else that you would rather we discussed?
Yeah. Leave your comments below.
They were going to then sign a great keeper. I thought they were going to get an average keeper and therefore needed 2 more. The fact that they've pulled out the bag, one of the